What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity. I hope you guys are doing well. It's pretty clear to me that Activision and Infinity Ward at this stage of the Modern Warfare 2 lifecycle are trying to do whatever they can to generate some interest into their game, because I think they realize their game is dying and it's spiraling downward, and this is obviously because of the fact that they've not once listened to customer feedback, not once been transparent with the community, and Activision decided to just take out any type of competition that was asking them to be a little bit better, right? So they're now grasping at straws. They want to develop some momentum moving into Season 4 of Modern Warfare 2, and let's be honest, I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. But they are grasping at straws. They're trying as hard as they can to generate anything. And what they've done is they've asked two YouTubers to sell themselves out so that they can be operators within the game. And these two YouTubers are Nickmercs and Timthetatman. And it's disappointing seeing this, not only because I believe these are two prominent voices in the Call of Duty community, but also it showcases that once again, we have people that are willing to sell the community short just so that they can get a paycheck. And I understand it partially, you know. You get presented a nice check from Activision, you're going to be able to have your likeness utilized in a franchise you love. I think a lot of us would jump at the bit to have that opportunity, but it's about the timing that I have an issue with, because this is right after Activision has basically turned their back on the Call of Duty community, and they've said to this Call of Duty community that we're going to continue to tank this franchise despite what you guys are saying. We're going to cease and desist everybody that tries to get in our way. And I don't know how you can support a company that is, instead of leveraging their financial prowess to make the game better, they are instead utilizing that financial prowess to cease and desist those that they deem are potential competitors, and that's problematic. And I really wish that major voices like Timthetatman and Nickmercs, instead of accepting the check from Activision, stood up to them and said, hey, we don't like what's going on in Call of Duty. I don't want to support it, because frankly, there's a lot of people in this community right now that don't want to support what's going on because they saw what Activision just did. And frankly, we're seeing in front of our own eyes what Activision has been doing to the Call of Duty franchise over the last several years. So it's really disheartening when people who have the ability to at least influence some change, instead of utilizing their platform for that, they choose to utilize their platform to cash in, to turn their backs on this community, to say that all the events that have transpired over the last couple weeks don't really matter. That instead, what matters to me is getting my likeness into this game. What matters to me is getting that paycheck from Activision. I don't care about the community members that poured hours and hours and hours of hard work to try to bring the community something that it desperately needed. And normally, I wouldn't be somebody that would call out other creators about getting money, because frankly, I understand it. I might not make money myself yet, but maybe one day I will. And honestly, sometimes it's difficult to generate enough revenue. But we're talking about Nickmercs and Timthetatman. They're not necessarily doing poorly, okay? They're not worried about where their next meal is coming from. They know that they have income coming in. So the problem that I really have here is that if they just decided to turn their backs to Activision here and instead utilize their platform to elicit change in the franchise, what would end up happening is potentially Activision would listen to their voice and say, wow, we actually do need to make some change. And then what would happen is once Activision begins to change, the community gets nice and healthy. And what happens when you have a healthy community? People support the content. And Timthetatman and Nickmercs and Activision would all be pigs in shit, because everybody would be benefiting. It wouldn't just be these three parties benefiting. It would be the entirety of the community, because we'd have a good game that people would be more than happy to support. And on top of that, the creators would be supported because people would actively want to seek out the content. Part of the problem with Call of Duty right now is nobody wants to watch this boring ass bad game on YouTube or on Twitch. It's not entertaining. What makes this game entertaining in any way, shape, or form are the voices and the creators around it. And If you have a prominent voice in this community, you should be utilizing it to try to enlist change within this franchise so that everybody can benefit instead of just you right now. Because eventually what might happen, and what's probably going to happen, is people will just stop watching that content, even if you are entertaining, because nobody wants to be associated with Call of Duty. And frankly, that's where I'm kind of at. Outside of the few creators I want to support, I'm not really on board with a lot of the other Call of Duty creators because they're kind of shilling out for Activision. And I don't think that's fair to this community. I think there's some great prominent voices like Merc Music and Exclusive Ace and Nero Cinema and Blame Truth who have been speaking the truth for years, even Thunder. But the truth of the matter is there's still too many people that have prominent voices in this community that would rather they get the advantage of having Activision in their back pocket than utilizing their platform to make the community healthier overall. And I just really want more out of these prominent creators because they have the opportunity to deliver more. They have the opportunity to utilize and leverage their influence to get some change within this franchise. And if Call of Duty is healthier, then gaming in general is just going to be healthier because it's going to cause these other games to also raise the bar. When gaming was at its finest, it's when games had to raise the bar to meet other games in the same genre. Look at what's happened in recent years. Halo slipped, Battlefield slipped, Call of Duty slipped, and no one has grabbed the mantle and demanded the expectations to be raised, the standard to be raised. So it's up to us to continue to give our feedback. It's up to us to continue to try to rally this voice, this momentum, to actually elicit change within this franchise. And yes, I do believe that boycotts will help. And I do believe a revolution in Call of Duty is needed. But it won't work if we consistently get our backs turned on by the leaders of this community because they choose to cash in on Activision's paychecks instead of helping out this community grow and prosper and insulate it. So, frankly, yes, I think they sold out. I think they saw a paycheck from Activision, saw an opportunity to make some extra money, and they took it instead of understanding where the community is currently at. And I said it earlier in the video. Normally, I don't have a problem with YouTubers going out and getting the bag, right? I normally don't have an issue with that. But in this instance, where Activision is right now, with Bobby Kotick coming out and saying there was never sexual assault in our company, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And I really, really, really hope that other major content creators within the Call of Duty community think twice before working alongside Activision in the future, because you're saying all of this is okay. You're saying that ignoring your community for over a couple years now is the path forward to success, when in reality it's just not. And people are fed up. And I don't think it's okay, and I think we should expect more from the leaders in this community. So that's all I have for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below in the comments section what you guys think of this. Do you think it's selling out? Do you think I'm just a big old baby who's crying for no reason? Or do you have another opinion? Because I'd love to hear that down below in the comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.